Y luego ceviche, street tacos y chicken fajitas.
There's nothing on this menu that is not high quality.
Crispy salmon tacos.
He takes recipes and makes up his own versions. That's why it's so interesting and so delicious.
Those versions come from Chef Antonio Matusa's Mexican heritage, mashed up with the flavors from his wife Sarah's hometown of Taos.
Ceviche, street tacos, please, table 10.
I used to travel to Mexico, and I get that same flavor.
Mexico has its states, and states have representations of the type of foods that they make. What type of food is this?
We have Veracruz, we have Mexico City, like the chile relleno Nogada is from Puebla.
The Nogada is totally unexpected. I've never had anything like that before.
It's a mild green chili filled with beef and pears, and it's just this wonderful, sublime flavor.
What are we into now?
The feeling of the chile relleno en Nogada.
In Nogada means in
a nut sauce.
In a nut sauce.
Olive oil, onions, garlic, apples and pears.
Isn't this made at Christmas?
Yeah, it's actually a Christmas dish. Yes, it is.
Point guy!
We're gonna add some raisins here. Salt, black pepper, oregano, some thyme, clove,
Some comino. This is taking it to Christmas. Some cinnamon.
water.
We add the ground beef.
Then I'm gonna add the tomatoes.
How long is this gonna cook down, Chef?
40 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
Yeah. Whenever it's cool, we start stuffing the poblanos.
We'll make the Nogada sauce.
Yeah, the recipe calls for walnuts, but pecans are more flavorful. Some garlic, a mix of cream cheese, goat cheese, and feta cheese.
Feta.
The old feta in Mexico.
Cinnamon, fresh onion, brandy, salt, sugar, and some heavy cream, milk.
He's dropped the hammer.
And that's it.
Delicious. A savory, nutty, sweet sauce.
That's great.
What's the name of our new band? Savory, nutty, sweet sauce. Be performing tonight in Antonio's.
Chile relleno, some beans, some rice, Nogada sauce, cotija cheese,
Mexican
some
Parmesan.
cilantro, pomegranate, pico de gallo, cotija on the beans.
Look at that.
This savory spiced meat contrasted with this sweet, salty, nutty sauce. And the little kiss of the pomegranate, the little bite.
I love that you keep it traditional, but you also kind of change it to what you think is going to be better, like using the pecans.
That is one of the more elevated, culinarily professional dishes I've had in a Mexican restaurant.
Chile relleno en Nogada right here.
This is so good. I like the pomegranate in this.
Absolutely amazing, amazing relleno.
Red Snapper, Veracruz.
This is a place where you can get some very creative stuff.
This is like getting a passport into some parts of Mexico maybe you haven't been to.
Chef,
Thank you, Chef.
Thank
You're
you.
awesome. Very
Thank you
talented.
The real deal right there.
Table 5, order up.
Anytime we want to go for breakfast, everyone in the family, let's go to Perk.
Fabulous food.
Pancakes, fresh fruit, order up.
It's easy to get a good breakfast. It's hard to get a great breakfast.
That's why restaurant vets Pauline and Carmen Martinez created this place.
We used to go out for breakfast all the time, and we could never find something like what we would make at home.
So they decided to share their unique take on breakfast.
We call it classic Americana with a Southwest kick.
She throws in what she likes, he throws in what he likes.
The result, a menu full of dynamic dishes like this one.
Enchiladas are being plated.
It's really good.
Even though it's got that one ingredient. These breakfast enchiladas gonna involve the EGG word?
What's EGG? Oh, eggs. I'm sorry. It does have them.
It doesn't have them in there.
Oh, okay. Not in there.
On or around them. Give me the rundown.
First step is going to be the spicy New Mexico chili sauce. Chilies with the seeds, hot water, the salt, cayenne pepper, black pepper, fresh garlic, honey, chicken base. Then we have chipotles and adobo that have already been pureed.
And now we're gonna come together and do a little...
Little blend up.
Gotta try this. Little yum. Wow, ooh.
Little spice.
A little heat in that. So now we're gonna work on the pork.
Spice rub is the first thing we do, and we're gonna start with seasoned salt, fresh ground nutmeg, paprika, cumin, dark chili powder, spicy cayenne, granulated garlic. So we just roll it around a little bit.
Okay.
Then from there, we're gonna top it with our house-made cilantro jalapeno sauce. This is the spicy version. Now we're gonna add cola, and we're gonna let this sit overnight and marinate.
Then roast it.
350 for about 4.5 hours.
Dig it.
So we're gonna pull this out, and we're gonna slice this. Is that money or what?
Do not go and take my lines
Look at that, just breaks apart. So now what are we gonna do with it?
Now we're gonna take it from here and we're gonna grill it on the flat top so it gets a nice little caramelized crisp on it.
And then we'll put it into the enchilada.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We're gonna slice it up so it makes it a little easier to eat. And then we're gonna take these tortillas, a little bit of homemade chipotle, ricotta,
Okay.
zesty black beans, and then the slow roasted pork goes right on top. And then we're gonna top them with that spicy New Mexico chili sauce. And 2 incredible edible eggs, and top it with a little bit of fresh cilantro.
I'm really good. With New Mexican chili enchilada sauce. It's right on point. A little bit of heat. Nice little sweetness to it from that honey. Call it a breakfast enchilada, call it a breakfast burrito, call it whatever you want. Just don't call me late for it.
Paella's coming up.
Number 1, top notch.
It's the perfect mixture of New Mexican flavors with like the French cuisine.
Croque monsieur ready?
I love the food, but I also love the people.
That would be Randy Morris and Jennifer Peterson, who just seemed destined to own this place.
We took jobs in this restaurant.
As waiters.
I had mentioned how cool it would be if we ever owned a little place like this.
And there's a legend about Taos Mountain.
If you say it.
How cool it would be if we ever owned a little place like this. Within a week, the owner was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Maybe you guys should take it over.
And the real magic was a package deal that included Chef Gabby Garcia. How many people work in this kitchen?
Just me and somebody else.
You have a cape? You're Superwoman?
It's hiding. I need to spin so it come out. Pollo Borachon.
Okay. Had the drunken chicken today. It looks like a pot pie.
The most unique dish that they have here.
You're gonna make what?
Pollo Borachon.
Okay, drunk chicken. Drumsticks and thighs?
Carrots, mushrooms, bacon, yellow onions, paprika, black pepper, parsley, and salt. Red wine, water, and now it goes in the walk-in.
Then what happens?
We cook it the next morning for 45 minutes.
Tightened up with a roux. What are we making next?
The dough for the chicken borachon.
Where did you learn to speak English?
TV, books. I watch a lot of funny movies. I saw you in Ridiculousness.
Just so you know, it's one of my favorite shows of all of them.
Me too, yes.
Rob, you got to get her on Ridiculousness.
Okay, let's do this. Flour.
Yeast that's been bloomed.
Salt.
We're gonna mix it, pull it out, let it rest?
Yeah.
All right, Chef, where are we at?
The chicken.
Some of the jus with some of those veggies that were in there.
Mushrooms, ripe potatoes, beans, green beans,
roasted red bell pepper,
peas, and then we do the dough. We add a little bit of egg wash.
right over the top. And then we put the tomatoes on top to cook?
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on at this point.
And then a little bit of cheese and ready to go in the oven. 7 to 10 until golden brown.
Look at how beautiful that is. This is kind of like dipping the bread into the stew. Wow, it's delicious. It's savory, it's light, but rich, creative. The chicken's so flavorful. This is one of the most unique, craveable pot pies I've ever seen. I just can't get enough of it. Have you guys tried this?
Pollo Borachon.
It was delicious. A great dish.
You can really taste the red wine. And then, surprise, there's beans in there, too.
Ta-da!
It's exciting to open up the crust.
Is that not the bomb?
Soul food right there.
Another chicken burrito, no cilantro.
Delicious.
Salsa, everybody's fine?
Order up, please.
Casual and funky.
The car in the boots really stuck out. Okay, boys.
There's no other place like it.
Fish taco with 2 steak tacos, okay?
Un quesadilla solamente.
And is it always this chaotic?
Yeah.
I feel like I walked into a fiesta.
2 fish tacos.
The food's fabulous.
Pretty much awesomeness.
Enjoy the fish taco?
Yes, it's money.
Everybody's happy?
Because this ain't Susan Harry's first rodeo.
That's all I've done since I was the age 13.
Tacos de pescado.
After running all kinds of restaurants, she wanted to open a Mexican place.
Carne Adovada.
Right here.
So she brought in an old friend, Manuel Valdez,
Fish taco up.
and his brother
Chicken burrito.
to do the food they grew up with.
Appreciate it. Have a good day.
I mean, it's like family.
It's awesome.
Where I come for tacos, big burritos.
I've just been turned on to the Carne Adovada. Carne Adovada.
2 adobada burritos.
It's really, really good. This is perfect.
Okay, adobada. We use the shoulder.
The pork butt, yep. Nice and thin, right?
We clean it,
Get all the silver skin off.
and then we thin out.
Look at you, man. You are just a butchering machine. It's not your first time, huh?
No.
So he comes in and pulls it off one time, flaps it over, and then turns it around and comes and pulls it off the other time.
Yeah, perfect. Muy bien.
But what happens is he took 3 folds out of it.
See?
Everybody in the pool?
Everybody in the pool. Now we're gonna marinate cumin.
Okay, cayenne.
Cayenne.
The garlic.
California chili.
California, New Mexico, clove. Now, you never grind up the clove?
We put it whole.
Bay leaf, salt. Aceite, the oil. Look at that. We were expecting a Flavor Town reference. I know you were.
Now we use our hands, okay?
No, we don't. You do.
They sit like me overnight.
You gonna grill this?
No,
Or?
you're gonna put it on the oven.
For how long?
For a couple hours. You need to get it really nice and soft.
I can't wait for this. All the cooking is done, Manuel, in this little kitchen?
Yeah.
This is it?
This is it. You got a piece. See how tender it is? Go ahead and try a piece.
God.
We're gonna do a taco for you.
Now we're gonna cook it again.
Now we
put a little bit more crisp on it.
Crisp on it. So we just did 2 tortillas.
Everybody loves this one?
Oh yeah, they love adobada. We bring it over.
Oh!
And then we have the little cilantro.
Little onion.
And then we also the lime.
That's it. You don't mess with. Wow, that's great. Flavor is amazing. Why even have the tortilla? Just serve it in my hand, or in my shoe, or my pocket. Well.
That's dough made from corn.
The key ingredient to any great tamale, and we make fresh masa here.
The way Vladimir learned to do it from his father.
Raw corn, dried. This is to grind it up to make the masa. But first, what do we got to do?
Just gonna put the lime there.
The lime in the boiling water.
Then the corn.
And how long is this gonna boil? 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Then it's cooled?
We have to wait 12 hours. Now it's ready to be rinsed.
Get the skin off of it. There we go. The skin's off, and now into the grinder. Yeah, that's nice. Hit it. So what he's doing is he's trying to get the right grind. Look at that. Fresh masa. That is killer. Now you take the masa.
We divide it and then pound portions. For the tamales, for the beef in red.
Got it. This is gonna make the shredded beef for the tamale.
Yeah.
Look at the pot. It's like a little mini hot tub.
Onion, garlic. I'm gonna do the meat. You got it.
Yeah. Go for a 3-pointer next.
More onions, some more garlic, salt, and some water.
So this is gonna go for about 3 hours?
That's right.
Okay, brother. I like this. This is all the basis of the chili sauce.
Ancho, guajillos.
Pasilla, and then the puya.
Now we add water.
Let them steep.
Soak overnight.
Rehydrate. Nice and soft. Look at this. Flesh comes off. Oh, that's it, baby. Throw them in the blender.
Salt.
A little bit of water. They puree real nice.
That's right.
So we've got the pureed chilies with a little bit of water. Now it's time to make the red sauce.
Garlic, onion, black pepper, ground cloves.
Okay.
Salt, tomatoes, water.
And that's it?
We blend it.
Now the tomato mixture's done.
Now we put some of these pure chilies into this one right here.
All that to cook the beef.
That's right.
A lot of work, man. So we got all the beef shredded apart, cool it down. What are we up to now?
We're gonna fry it a little bit on oil, you know, onions. Burn it a little bit.
Flavor the oil, right?
That's right.
Gotta take the onion out.
Now we're dropping the meat in there.
All this meat's gonna go in. Gets a little bit of a fry. Now some of the red sauce we made, 8 gallons. Smells awesome. Okay, so how much longer is this gonna cook?
15 minutes.
Then we take it to the masa. He's the bossa of the masa. So the masa, balled up and ready to go.
Gotta separate with the oil first.
Kind of creams up the masa.
Salt, baking powder.
That's what makes them nice and light and airy and not super dense and hard. Okay.
Now we mix it.
How many tamales will this make?
70 tamales.
About 70?
We add some red salsa.
Okay, so we mix all this up and then we start building tamales.
That's right.
Got it. So we got the husks that have been soaked in the water. So they're nice and pliable. Nice big fat ones too.
Tomato.
So it doesn't stick.
Put some masa.
Okay.
Some salsa.
Oh, it's gonna be nice and moist.
And some meat.
That's generous, baby. I hate when it's so much masa and just a little bit of meat.
Roll the tamal, fold it up, use a tie. Add a little bit of salsa.
And a little bit more in there.
Yeah, there we go.
And then we're gonna stand all those up in the steamer. Start it from cold, stack them up, 35, 40 minutes, then they're done.
That's right, beef and red.
All right, the size of this. That's huge, man. The masa's got really nice flavor to it. And the meat inside, nothing like shredded Mexican beef. Great job, brother.
Thank you.
Here's your 2 beef ribs.
It tastes great. You can taste all of the flavors blending.
It's really kind of sweet and beefy at the same time.
It's better than anything.
Well, this is fun. You feel like you're in this little corner of Mexico.
2 chicharron taco.
Very authentic Mexican food.
Tacos are awesome.
2 tacos coming up.
Chicken burrito. I have a little bit of an addiction for it.
Steak tostada.
This is my favorite food.
That's one of the biggest taco trucks I've ever seen. How big is that school bus?
That's about 35 feet.
But when Rene Valenzuela opened this joint in '91,
First we got cargo vans and little trailers. We needed a bigger kitchen. Order up.
so they got a bus.
Carne Adovada burrito coming up.
And since '99, Rene's using it to crank out the classics he grew up cooking in Mexico.
Fish tacos. We want to do food that's very authentic, very deep in Mexico.
From fried pork rinds with salsa verde
It's spicy. It's really good.
to the Mayan standard, conchinita pibil.
The
meat is just tender and just goes down like water.
And this regional specialty with pulled pork and ancho pepper sauce.
Chilorio torta.
Never seen it. I've been eating Mexican food all my life.
To make chilorio, first we're gonna make carnitas. We got a Boston butt right here. We're gonna take the fat out.
Okay, so we'll cut it into small pieces.
Right, put a little bit of salt. And now we're gonna put it into the hot pork lard.
Builds a little crust.
Right. Put some Mexican bay leaves.
Allspice. Interesting, I like that.
And orange. There you go.
Everybody in the pool.
Simmering is frying slowly.
How many hours?
About a couple hours.
All right, so it's all cooled down now. Shred it.
That's right.
I like that spice with the allspice in there. We'll shred it, make the sauce, and then make the torta.
That's right.
Got it. Anchos. Love anchos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. And pasillas.
Pasillas. We got a hot griddle. We're gonna put them in there. It's gonna help awaken the flavors.
And then we're gonna steep them in hot water?
Right.
Okay, so we keep the lid on it so it keeps the peppers submerged. Nice. So what are you doing with the seeds? We're just opening them up here?
Right.
You can't make the sauce with the seeds and then strain the seeds out. They become too bitter.
That's right.
We take all these, now we're gonna grind these up?
Yes, for the chilorio sauce.
I know this routine.
Put the red peppers in the blender. I'm gonna put a little bit of the water.
Okay.
Mexican oregano, as you know, is different.
One of my favorite. Comino.
Vinegar. And then garlic cloves and salt. After we put it through the blender, we're gonna strain it. Then we're gonna put the sauce. We're gonna fry it.
A little bit of the lard that we cooked the pork in?
That's right.
This is gnarly. That's what you gotta do right there. You gotta cook off a little bit of that bitterness.
I'll put the carnitas already shredded.
And we're just gonna sit there and cook this up, let it coat,
Right.
and then we're gonna make the torta.
That's right.
We can't make this sandwich fast enough. So this is homemade bread.
Yeah. Refried beans at the bottom. So now we put the chilorio on top.
Refried beans almost work like the mayonnaise.
That's right.
Okay, a little queso.
A little queso on top. The jalapenos. Then tomatoes, white onions, marinated onions.
Cabbage. Nope. Stingy with the cabbage.
Okay. And cilantro. Here you go.
Look at that. That's out of bounds, dude.
All right.
The freshness of the bread right off the bat. Then you get this hot, a little bit spicy, the meat. Then you get the crunch of the onion and the little snap from the jalapeno. This got to be one of the best tortas I've ever had.
All right.
I mean, one of the best, dude.
Yellowtail up.
Talk about Latin fusion, this is where it's at.
Your Matla Burger.
It's a great restaurant.
One that Cuban-born chef Michelle Sanchez opened in 2012 after some truly dedicated service.
I was in the Air Force for 4 years.
Thank you for serving our country.
Thank you very much.
And he's still serving. This time, a mix of Latin cultures close to his heart.
Sticky nacho carne asada. My wife is Mexican, and so a lot of our dishes are that Cuban heart with the little sidekick of Mexican flair.
The Chimi Burrito, that is my favorite.
It's kind of a mix between a Cuban and a Mexican burrito.
We'll take the tortilla, throw it on the flat top, give it a nice little warm up.
That's it?
Voila. All right, so we got our 3-cheese blend. You want to start on the base? Chuchi rice.
Isn't that your mom's name?
That's my mom's nickname, is Chuchi. Put the sweet plantains directly inside the burrito. Then we take the vaca, and we roll, squeeze the ends, roll again, push in. Always make sure you push it in because it will blow up on you. And when it gets dropped for the flash fry.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You're gonna fry it?
I'm gonna drop it. Cool.
Oh, Chimi football.
There you go. I'm gonna slice it open. You got all that goodness inside.
Look at that.
The avocado lime, the crema mexicana, sour cream. We use these as our fries. We call it our tangled love. Our fresh pico de gallo, the Chimi Burrito. And don't do the fork and knife thing. Do it the right way.
You get the salty beef and this deep, rich beef flavor. And then you get that super seasoned rice. And all of a sudden, that fried sweet plantain comes in. I mean, wow. That is a Thanksgiving in a burrito. Just Cuban style with Mexican influence. With french fries on top.
Get these eggs going poached here.
This restaurant is absolutely amazing.
It's an alternative to like traditional breakfast lunch places.
I have the chula fritters.
What makes the food here so good?
The different spins she puts on it.
And the chef doing the spinning here is Catherine Gonzalez, who didn't have to go far from home to find her inspiration.
I'm using recipes from Mom, and then I kind of infused it with some of the things I learned. Mom's red chili, chilaquiles.
The chilaquiles are fantastic. I could eat those every day.
The meat is so tender. The sauce is complex and flavorful.
So what are we making?
My mom's chilaquiles. We're gonna make the rub. Salt, garlic powder, paprika, onion powder, and cumin. And it's gonna go on the pork cushion.
Braising liquid.
A little bit in the bottom, yep.
Go in the oven, 250.
Whatever the oven's working at during the day.
It just goes in there.
Yeah,
you can't wreck it. Next step.
Red chili.
Red chili.
California chili.
Okay, California chili. I know my chili. Oh,
yeah, you
come
do
on
know
now.
your chiles. Break off the stem. The seeds, when we dump them, we save them. We make our chili oil.
So we're gonna rehydrate these, a little warm water.
Leave them on the stove an hour and put them into the blender. A little bit of that water that we cooked them in.
Hot tub and flavor tub.
Then, just a little bit of water to thin it out. Crushed Mexican oregano.
Cumino, onion, the garlic, and the salt. Next up.
We're gonna make date and onion jam. Grapeseed oil, sweet white onion, dates. Add sugar to this, water.
All that precise measurement that goes on here.
You like that?
And an immersion blender that's gonna get messy. I'll be back there. That's like culinary napalm. Sugar and dates. That little sticky, burny.
We're gonna let it cook
All right.
down. So now we're gonna make the mom's chilaquiles.
Okay, so.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so.
Okay, so.
Okay, I got you. Grapeseed oil, sweet white onion, our house-made corn chips. Put the red chili sauce on top.
Right.
And then the pulled pork.
You should call this dish next of Ken. You're gonna be calling mine.
Green onion, queso fresco.
What avocado slicing is that method? Here, how many did we give it?
We give you like 3. Ay, guy. Ay, Dios mío. Do the microgreens, chili oil on
That you
here.
made from the seeds that you kept?
Yep, and a little bit of onion jam.
For the wrong people, there'd be an egg on this.
There would be an egg on that.
Going for a personal best right now, and it's so hot. That was more like a pig eating. The chile sauce, it's silky, a lot of chile flavor. You do this really dynamite pork, you go a little bit extra with that. The chips are nice and crunchy. The jam is just that kind of that funky little twist that makes it yours. That's the next level. Welcome back, Triple D. Hunter is leading the show on the Hunter and Guy Triple D experience. We're at Vita Cantina. Chef David here in Portsmouth, New Hampshire is bringing real deal Mexican food to the folks of the Northeast.
Fire Table 31, 2 fried shrimp tacos.
You can't get anything like it anywhere else in town.
I'm so intrigued by the menu.
Pig head platter in the window.
It's literally a pig's head, homemade corn tortillas on the side.
It's kind of like having like a pulled pork taco, but it's more experiential.
Let me just get this straight. We're talking full split in half pig head.
Yeah.
Where's Andrew Zimmern when you need him? Hit it.
All right, we're gonna make a brine. Some water, sugar, salt.
A little curing salt.
And a little bit of garlic. And then once it comes to a boil, we put it into the walk-in.
Cool this down.
Take the brine and pour it right on the head.
Gotta clean them up there.
So he's gonna sit there and brine.
For a couple days.
Then what's next?
We'll take it out, give it a rinse, and let it cook in its fat.
Basically confit the head.
Exactly, 8 hours.
Dude.
Then it comes out.
We let it cool slightly, rub it with our salsa verde. It's grilled tomatillos, poblanos, serranos, cilantro, onion, and garlic. And then we fire it off in a 500-degree oven, uncovered so it blisters the skin for about 20 minutes.
So you're gonna get the chicharron of the skin.
Yeah.
And then everything inside is just cooked down.
Bring it onto the platter.
Wow, look at that.
We'll serve it with cilantro, onions, lime, our house-made salsa fresca, salsa verde, and mango habanero. And then, of course, flowers and a stack of our house-made tortillas. And then you just go at it.
Where do you start?
You just dig in.
Oh,
Look at
this
that.
is ridiculous. I'm getting that.
Look at that. Right into that jowl.
Just pulls apart, huh?
Look at that. So you grab a tortilla.
Yep.
Oh, man.
That's about as real deal as it gets right there, bro.
Right? It's not a bad thing.
That's a fantastic thing. I know it's got to be a little unique for people to have this culinary experience, but the truth of it is, the flavor, when you've got the skin, the bone, the fat, the brine, and the roast with that salsa verde over the top of it, I mean, that's ridiculous.
So much flavor.
That's one of the most beautiful presentations of roasted pork I've ever seen.
Thank you very much.
Gone for me. Thank you. Appreciate it, Dad.
Even when they're taller than you, you still end up feeding them.
Here we go.
The best pulled pork you're gonna get. It's so succulent when you bite into it.
It's an awesome experience.
Runner on table 42, please.
What you've done is transformed a small area of New Hampshire into little cultural Mexico.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
Nice job, Chef.
Thank you.
I gotta head over here and try some more.
Wow.
I got chicken fajitas.
It's an amazing place to come and eat.
Authentic northern New Mexico food. The chili is the best here.
You have the ristos hanging outside, the adobe walls and everything this area is known for.
And when Adam Medina and his wife Raylyn opened this traditional spot, they went into it with the help of Adam's late father.
My dad was in the restaurant business forever. His dream was to open up a restaurant. I got out of culinary school. This place came up. Me and my dad, my mom, and Relleno.
Yeah, the four of us started it.
So who are we cooking with today?
Me.
You won't come back if you cook with me.
All right, what are we gonna make, Chef?
Carne Adovada.
Carne Adovada is marinated pork, and they smother it in more chili, and it's just awesome.
What are we kicking off with?
Pork stock for our chili sauces. This is New Mexico.
New Mexico chilies. They're showing off because we're in New Mexico.
I salt the bones first.
Necks and backs.
Put them in the oven, 475, a couple hours. Bones go in here. We add vegetables.
Onions.
Celery.
Garlic.
Tomato paste and some red chili pods. Put it back in the oven, about 45 minutes to roast them off.
Okay.
Deglaze.
Pull all the flavor out of that.
This goes in there.
Step back.
Oh dear.
Okay, the water, simmer again.
5 hours or so.
We'll strain this.
I reserve like a quarter of it. I reduce that for my marinade for my carne adovada.
I've never heard of someone marinating pork in a pork stock.
Yeah. We're making a base, water, crushed red chili, Caribe, and chili powder. So we blend this, reserve for the red chili sauce we're gonna make.
But now you're gonna add other ingredients to it that will make it the marinade.
Yeah. Garlic, white vinegar, salt, and then our reduced pork stock. Blend this.
And what is the pork that we're using for the adovada?
It's a pork sirloin.
How long is this pork gonna marinate?
At least 8 hours.
What else are we gonna work on?
Got red chili sauce, the ground pork. We fry this pretty crisp.
And make a roux with the flour.
Then we add our fresh minced garlic, chili mixture. So I get some stock in here.
So that pork stock is like one of the backbones of the restaurant.
Yeah.
A little bit of salt.
Let it simmer about 30 minutes.
How do you make the rice?
We start off by browning a parboiled rice, toasted with oil.
Got it.
And then we add
pork stock.
This dish doesn't take pork stock, unfortunately.
The one thing that doesn't get pork stock?
Celery and onions, pureed tomatoes, water, some salt, pepper, some granulated garlic, and bay leaf. Cook it about 35 minutes.
All right, Chef, let's see it. So rice, beans, what else?
Marinated pork. This is our chile Caribe sauce that we made earlier.
A healthy amount of sauce, huh?
Lettuce, tomato, and there we go.
You can't tell you're hungry. You're just shoveling. It's like trying to eat with a Tasmanian devil. The sauce has got a real depth of flavor.
It does. Good amount of heat.
Really tender. Lots of flavor.
I love the amount of sauce you put on there because now you can incorporate it to the beans and the rice.
I see why everybody loves it.
Carne Adovada plate.
The meat is just what really brings out that chili flavor. Just amazing. Can't beat it anywhere. Just like Mom.
This is the only place we go to for Mexican food in town.
Chile relleno goes with the salsas.
The ingredients are fresh. They make their own sauces.
And it's been legit since you started coming 20 years ago.
Yes.
The food here is very similar to my hometown.
Probably because Felipe Castañeda and his wife Lisbeth have been serving up authentic recipes from their hometowns for decades. What type of Mexican food is this?
Zacatecas, Jalisco region.
Okay.
North Central.
Our food is not too heavy in spices.
What are the key dishes?
The pollo en pipián.
Pipián on the pollo.
I've had the pollo en pipián many times. You can taste the pumpkin seeds, the spices.
They always come with some nice rice and beans. It's really good.
Okay, Chef, what are we making?
Pollo en pipián.
So chicken and pipián is the...
Pumpkin seeds. We start with the chicken.
Water.
Garlic, tomatoes, onion.
And then chicken breast, bone on, skin on.
For flavor. The salt.
And how long are we gonna let this cook for?
An hour 30.
What is the next step?
The pipián sauce. Toast de guajillo. Then the chile de árbol.
Of course, is the spicy.
The California.
And is the pipián sauce more like a mole?
Yes, it is. Toast them around until we start coughing and sneezing.
You can smell them right now.
Now we soak the chiles. Next, pumpkin seeds. These are more delicate.
Got to keep an eye on it.
The smell tells us.
Yeah, when it's time to go. Pumpkin seed with the shell.
They take a bit longer.
Right, and then the blue corn. The way he does it. So we have the chiles now rehydrated with water.
Some chicken broth.
And this is the stock that we cook the chicken in, correct?
Correct.
Let it go crazy.
We put the oil.
Cook that off like a steam bath in Flavor Town right there.
Chicken broth.
The pumpkin seeds and the blue corn, are those gonna get mixed with some water?
Some chicken stock and water. Yes.
And then puree that.
We thicken it.
With the seeds and the corn. How long will it cook?
35 minutes.
What are we making?
Salsa for the Mexican rice. We start with tomatoes, garlic, salt.
Onions, okay.
Water.
And bye-bye.
Now we go with the rice. Stir the rice until it gets kind of a brownish color.
That's what's gonna make it nice and flaky.
Add the salsa.
Chicken stock?
Cook 35 minutes. Now we're going to plate the pipián.
Okay.
Beans to the salamander.
Doing it old school right there.
Shredded chicken.
Okay.
Into the hot chicken broth.
Coming over hot. Look at that nice flaky rice like that.
And the chicken.
I can't wait to try this.
Pipián.
This sauce is gonna be legit. What is this here, Chef?
Salsa Doña Diabla. We do that from scratch.
All right. Good looking tortilla. The freshness of the tortilla is really good flavor. The chicken is tender. The Diabla. Hello. The sauce is hot. And the pipián, it's got the flavor of the enchilada, but the richness of the mole. Outstanding. The rice is nice and light and flaky. The beans are creamy and silky. That's got to be something you could serve to your mom. I mean, legit.
Pollo pipián right here.
Pollo pipián tastes a little spicy, but really good.
Their chicken is outstanding.
Pollo torta, table 9.
Everything is like 100%. They're always on their game.
You get that kind of symphony of flavor, you know, and then you feel, it's good.
Masa papa for Alex.
Today was the first time I tried the Masa Papa. It's got that like potato pancake in there.
You kind of have to figure it out, and then once you do, you're into it.
What torta are we into now?
The Masa papa.
Potato and masa?
Yeah.
Oh, so a vegetarian torta?
Yes. Huh. We're going to start with some mashed potatoes.
Some mozzarella?
Salt, oil, and water.
Okay.
And we're just gonna make a sort of rustic little dough.
I feel like I'm getting a sope with potatoes in it.
It's exactly what it's like. See that? That goes down real lightly. That was just about right. Put our chili in.
Roasted down jalapeno.
Kind of get it tucked in there. Give it another smush. From here, we hand shape it.
Could you make this more difficult?
It's a salaried position.
So I'll order this a day ahead of time.
Exactly.
Make sure that somebody can have this ready to go.
We're gonna par bake it.
What temp?
350 for 20 minutes.
Got it. And what are we making here?
Roasted tamarind tomatoes.
And those are gonna go on the sandwich?
Yes. Tuck our rosemary in. This is maybe the least traditional thing we do here. Some avocado leaf that we're putting in. Habanero. Garlic. Diluted tamarind paste.
This is weird.
Bit of oil, salt, and some pepper.
Roast this off at
375, about an hour and 20 minutes.
What are we on to next?
We're gonna make jalapeno mayo, charred chilies,
garlic,
salt, lime juice, some mayo.
Let's see it. Okay, Chef.
So we're gonna put our jalapeno mayo on first.
You can hide behind this thing.
Tortas as big as your head. That's what we're going for.
Good, well, you almost covered that.
Okay. Once our huaraches are baked off, pan fry for about a minute, both sides, going right on top.
Wow. The tamarind tomato, I think I'm feeling lucky. I'm gonna get 3. There you go.
Queso botanero. It's like queso fresco, and it's got a little chili and cilantro. Fresh onion with cilantro and lime. Slices of avocado, shredded cabbage, and pickled onion.
And that's all she wrote. That might be one of the best vegetarian Mexican tortas I've ever had. Great crunch. It's creamy. It's spicy. It's tangy. It's rich. The acidity of the pickled onion is a must. The avocado flies right in. Then you get a little bit of fat coming through from that cheese. That's dynamite any way you slice it. I'd order that every day.
Fish tacos, please, on the fly. To me, it's the most authentic Mexican food.
The flavors are unmatched.
Beef fajitas.
The 3 generations are amazing. We have Alex and Silvio.
It's the grandfather, father, son trifecta, and they've been giving Canadians the flavors from Silvio Solano's homeland since he opened in 1988. Where are you from originally?
Oaxaca.
What kind of Mexican food are we doing?
Most of the traditional from all over the Mexican world.
So you're taking the best from around Mexico.
I've had almost everything on the entire menu, and it's always changing, too.
Chilaquiles, pick up.
Had the chilaquiles today.
It's like a corn chips casserole with some melted cheese and pickled onion, too.
Magic on a plate.
What are we making now?
Green chilaquiles. Start with mirepoix.
Is this a stick?
Yes, it is.
Tomato sauce?
Cayenne, oregano, salt, and pepper.
Garlic, chili powder, comino, and...
Si, senor. Turmeric.
And this right here is just cooked chicken thigh and breast?
That's right.
This will just start to shred apart as it cooks inside.
Right, and that's why we use this. Because if we use the metal spoon, it'll start cutting it up too soon. That's why.
How long are we gonna let this stew down?
25 minutes. and just a little bit of water.
And that's all she wrote.
For the chile verde sauce, we blend onions,
grilled garlic and jalapeno,
a lot of cilantro,
and then the tomatillos that have been grilled and then boiled in a little bit of water, so all that juice goes in together, all the flavor.
That's right. Pepper and salt.
And a touch of water. What do we have next?
Very basic cheese.
We've got the milk up to temp.
100 degrees.
Lime juice?
Just lime juice and a little bit of vinegar.
Okay. Let this curdle, and then we're just gonna separate it.
Squeeze out any last liquid and add salt.
Let it rest and be ready for service.
Yes.
Let's see this. Your butter's on and a little cilantro and onion mixture. Interesting. Haven't seen this happen.
Chicken, and then the salsa, the tortillas.
This is when the magic happens. So you take these chips and you dump them right into the salsa. You're gonna toss this around and they're almost gonna get a little wet. And it is a combination between like a deconstructed enchilada meets a
soggy
nacho. Thank you.
We just plate it, mozzarella, and then into the salamander.
You're gonna brown that cheese a little bit.
With beans and rice, crema.
More of the cilantro and onions.
Pickled onions, a bit of queso fresco.
And that's all she wrote.
Color. No, we're gonna keep going here.
Oh, and one chip.
One.
One crispy chip. Bury me in this. It was great. You get a lot of great tang, a lot of acid. You get the, the tender chicken.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
I have the Chilaquiles verde.
The Chilaquiles is my favorite dish. The chicken is super moist and very flavorful.
It's the spicing and the flavors that connect with your mouth.
Connect with your mouth.
Seriously.
I've been coming to Salt and Pepper for a little over 10 years now.
Why is it called Salt and Pepper?
We buy restaurant with this name.
And you kept the sign.
Yeah, they didn't have money to change it.
Honestly, the menu is so great. It's hard to pick just one. With the combination platter, you get to try a little bit of everything.
Let's Philly for table 26.
Having a great place like the Ale House at the base of the mountain is a treat for all of us.
Chicken sandwich.
The lift is right there. And this is usually where you come and get the frozen chicken tenders.
No frozen here. Frozen's out there.
Fresh is in here.
Yeah.
Elevating the slopeside menu was a gamble.
Excuse me, ladies.
Taken by owner Kevin Joseph.
Enjoy. There were 6 restaurants in 12 years before I took it over.
And his secret weapon, Chef Miguel Izquierdo, shredding in the kitchen.
Miguel and I get it all day from customers. They're like, wow, the food's actually amazing.
You're a ski resort and it's good food.
Highland Nachos with Carnitas coming out.
We specifically bring people here to try the nachos.
They're loaded, layered, and we love it.
So we're gonna make some carnitas, then we're gonna place those in nachos.
Boneless butt or bone-in?
Bone is the flavor.
Break this down.
Then I salt it.
What are we gonna cook this in?
In lard and bacon fat. Cook this one until it's a nice gold color.
This is what we're talking about, that golden brown color.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna squeeze some oranges into it.
You leave the oranges in there, too.
Now the garlic in. Stand back.
Careful.
And then we're gonna pour all that water in there. In the oven, 3 hours, stir every 20 or 30 minutes.
Correct.
Got it.
We use fresh guacamole for our nachos.
Fresh avocado every day.
Jalapenos without the seeds.
Chopped down nice. Same thing with the onion.
Cilantro, lime juice.
And a little salt and pepper. Delicious.
Money.
What do we got next?
The cheese sauce.
And a cheese sauce. Cheese fondue.
Fondue.
You've got roux.
Salted butter, all-purpose flour.
So you're gonna warm the milk up before you drop it in?
Sharp cheddar and asadero cheese. Asadero is like pretty close to Monterey. And then the milk and cheese to the roux.
Oh.
Okay.
We add the chips.
We're making 2 nachos or 1?
It's 1 nacho, but I would like to get melt like everywhere, you know? So I
Okay.
have to make 2 layers.
So in the oven?
Probably 600-700 degrees right now. Just slice it off. We gotta add some carnitas.
Okay, it just falls apart.
Beautiful.
Refried beans.
Oh, a good thing when you're eating this, you're gonna go work it off on the mountain.
Cheese sauce.
And this is just the one beginning layer.
The second one.
You're not gonna get a bad bite.
So we have the pico de gallo first.
Need a bigger plate.
Fresh guac, pickled jalapenos, finish with the crema.
Every chip has gotta have the
There you
goods.
have it, yep.
The way you make the carnitas is really moist.
The pickled veggies are money on that.
Really good guac, too. These are deconstructed taquito.
Yep.
It's got the crunch, it's got the ingredients.
Exactly.
This is probably one of the best nacho presentations I've seen, okay?
Killer. 1 more minute on the carnitas.
It's not just the first layer, you get down into the bottom and it gets better and better.
We're wine country, but this, the huarache,
I feel like I'm in Mexico when I'm here.
Your favorite thing on the menu?
Carne Asada tacos.
We take them down.
And this really is where I bring my family and friends.
How is it, Mom?
Fantastic.
Pozole. Every time I bite into it, it reminds me of Mexico.
Because owner Alma Mendez
Carnitas.
grew up there.
Alma, how long have I known you?
5 years.
We both get our hair done by the same guy.
The Huarache Carnitas is coming
Where did you get all the recipes from?
from my mom, my sister. We have our own way to make our food.
And for Alma, it's still the only way.
Gracias. Gracias por venir.
You make everything from scratch?
Everything from scratch.
The sopes, the carne asada, the tortillas, you name it.
The handmade tortillas, so good.
Tortillas up. It makes a great difference. We're gonna make regular size tortillas for tacos.
This starts with adding the masa, and this
Yeah.
is dried corn?
Yeah, use water in here. This is the hard part, getting the masa ready.
So we want it to be just a little bit tacky?
Yep.
Put in a nice firm ball so it doesn't dry out. That's one big tortilla.
Yeah.
Now, where did this come from?
It's from Mexico.
I've never seen this one. This is like the Terminator of tortilla makers. Do you know that someone's probably gonna steal this today?
No.
Yeah. Now, you patty yours a little bit before you put it down?
Yeah, you have to go like this. And you
There you
gotta
go.
make that noise when you do it.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah. And press, and this is the tortilla.
So now what are we gonna make?
We're gonna make the carne asada tacos.
The famous carne asada at La Texanita?
Yes.
I've been asking for this recipe since I've been coming here for the last 5 years. Better not be super simple because I have never been able to figure it out.
It's really simple. We have some chopped onions. Cook a little bit the onions here.
Like your air drumming?
When we hear this noise, that means that we're cooking. Put the meat on it, and then we have the salt. When you're chopping, you have to shake your booty.
That's part of cooking it?
Yeah.
I want this to be a big window here. I'm done not being able to see back here. This is going about 30 minutes.
When it's almost ready, we add some lime juice, and we're done.
Here's the tortillas that we just made. Cook them up till they're nice and brown.
So now we're ready to make a taco. We have to put some onions, cilantro, and some salsa.
And you make the salsa too.
We made the salsa. We add radishes, lime, and some jalapenos. And they're ready to go.
Look at that setup. Wow. So simple, but so good. Onions almost have their own sweetness to them, and the natural juices and the fat from the meat cooked everything. But I'm telling you something, there's just nothing that can beat the handmade tortilla and cooking it the right way.
And shake your booty.
And shake your booty the right way. Great job.
Pozole's up. Every single spice has a little piece of Mexico in it. ¿Quiere algo más?
This is why we come here. Real as it gets.
It's delicious. Sopa de picadillo is up.
Everything's authentic, nice and fresh.
You know what's been really fun for me is I never knew what went on behind the scenes. I just knew the food that came out of the little window was great.
What is going on here in Big Mike's Playhouse?
Central Texas barbecue.
What are we smoking with?
All posto.
What kind of pits?
Propane tanks that we modified. 100% stick burner.
It just really is phenomenal.
Brisket tacos for Hector.
Brisket tacos are amazing.
It just melts in your mouth. That's the type of brisket that I love. And the tortillas, oh my gosh.
Of course, you don't come down to Texas and not do brisket. Let's get after it.
All right. All of our beef is prime.
That's a big stamp to be putting on something.
We're gonna go ahead and trim it up.
We gonna trim it or give it a pedicure? That was one of your lines. That's a Lee Zinger right there.
Start off with a little bit of what we call the meat glue. It's a little bit of pickle juice, mustard.
Mustard. I've never seen that before.
Gives a great little vinegar to it.
Kosher salt, seasoning salt. And then we use 3 different grinds. Coarse pepper, extra coarse, and cracked pepper.
If we would have been doing this in $6 Million Man style, we'd be done with this.
There you go.
Once we get this done,
We go directly to smoker.
so these are the old propane tanks. Run at typically 250.
250. We're gonna put the big end with all the fat towards the heat.
How long?
12 hours. Rest up to 8 hours.
Got it. Tortilla time.
All-purpose flour, a little bit of salt, baking powder, smoked rendered brisket fat. Gets nice and clumpy, ready for the hot water.
We'll let this rest how long?
Minimum of an hour. Roll them out, and then we're gonna cook them on the flat top.
Tortillas are done, and I gotta say, they are gorgeous.
Brisket's done.
Looks like a chocolate cake.
Love how that pepper hangs on there.
Add a little bit of sauce, and then we're gonna make a brisket taco. Start with the brisket,
That is a portion.
cheddar cheese, house-made salsa roja.
That is a taco.
Now that's a lunch.
This is about as scratch made as they come. It's delicious.
Smooth.
The fat inside of the tortilla, love it. It's tender, it just comes apart. And the fact that you're doing prime.
Yeah?
It's probably one of the best brisket tacos I've had.
Awesome. Dropping 2 tortillas for tacos.
I love how he does his brisket very peppery on the outside and kind of crunchy. It's just fantastic.
You look at it, it falls apart.
Melt in your mouth.
What you're doing is the kind of stuff you find out in the middle of nowhere when you drive up that roadside place and people have that mind-blowing barbecue.
My hat's off to you.
Got 2 brisket here.
Taco Gordo is the best Mexican food this close to the Canadian border.
Tinga, brisket, beans, and rice.
I'm from California, and this is the first place in Vermont that I felt encapsulated what a true taco is.
Real deal, Southwestern, Mexican.
I didn't know how much I needed Charlie's tacos.
That craving took hold when Charlie Sizemore first rolled out his taco cart in 2014, then blew it up to a brick and mortar, bringing West Coast flavor all the way to New England.
I love the El Pastor, the way they roast it on the spit, the pineapple. You can't get a better taco.
It's just like a religious experience.
Today we're gonna do the Al Pastor. We're making our house adobo. We start with our dried spices and chilies. We toast these off.
The guajillos, and the pasillas, and the chipotles.
Yes.
I like it. What else are we doing?
Peppercorns, cloves, cumin.
Got it. Some cinnamon. This I'm impressed with. The annatto seed.
Yes.
Dude, where'd you learn to cook?
A misspent youth.
He was in a band called Misspent Youth. The beautiful thing about that annatto seed really gives that beautiful red hue in Latin food.
These go on to soak.
Let me set some background steeping music.
You're good at that.
Well, it's Misspent Youth.
We're playing a show later on.
Yes, I have the album. You signed my shirt.
Chilies into the blender here. Apple cider vinegar, raw blackened garlic, our spice mix, oregano, sugar, salt.
A little more liquid. We're gonna use boneless pork butt?
Yes. We get it cold, slice it thin.
How long are we gonna let this pork marinate?
At least a day.
Got it?
Start stacking.
The Al Pastor looks fantastic. Pineapple on top?
Pineapple on top.
Super important. Next up.
This is our salsa roja.
Okay.
Guajillos, a couple of chipotles,
okay.
Roasted tomatoes, toasted garlic, ground cumin, oregano, sugar, salt, apple cider vinegar.
Great.
A little bit of steeping liquid.
Delicious. Love the toasting of the garlic. A little kiss of the sugar. Well done.
A little bit of lard, tortillas. While these are cooking, I'm gonna slice you a little bit of this Al Pastor.
Love the pineapple on top.
Little onion cilantro. This is our salsa roja here.
This is outstanding. This is also probably one of the closest I've been to having authentic Al Pastor outside of Mexico. The tortilla is great. The Al Pastor is tender. It's got a ton of flavor. There's a good amount of char on this. The marinade comes through. The little piece of pineapple on top is key.
Are we in Flavor Town right now?
I am at Customs. I am crossing the border. That is a dynamite taco. Welcome to Flavor Town.
2 Al Pastor going to the bar.
It's fantastic. Smoky, rich, a lot of sweetness.
You can't get this kind of authentic Mexican anywhere in the Twin Cities.
Sopa de mariscos.
It's like walking into a little cafe in Mexico.
And much more. Because when Fernando Mellado and Jorge Rangel opened in 2011, they went for, well, pardon the expression, the whole enchilada.
One side is full-blown restaurant.
Right.
And I have a huge menu. The other side is market. You got a butcher shop. You have a bakery.
Right. We get a lot of people coming in here for the restaurant and come and explore the market.
3 tacos pastor.
The El Pastor tacos are like getting street tacos.
They're super fresh with the nice cilantro taste and the crispy onions.
What are we into now?
We're gonna make the Al Pastor sauce for the tacos.
Got it.
We're gonna start with the guajillo pepper, orange juice, lime juice, cumin, black pepper, bay leaves, oregano.
Mexican oregano is nice, big, super bold flavor.
Achiote.
This is the annatto seed that's made into a paste, but there's also flavors in this, okay?
Garlic, onions, salt, white vinegar. And then we're gonna use the big blender right here.
Don't get this on me. I only have one spiritual gangster shirt. Okay, so we take the sliced pork, we put it in there, and how long will it marinate?
For 24 hours.
Next up?
We're gonna do the salsa verde right here. We got the boiled jalapenos, garlic, the onions, salt, avocados, and use the immersion blender. Go ahead and start pouring the oil slow. How's that?
That's fantastic.
Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna make our tacos.
Onto the flat top, a little bit of oil, drop some onions.
And a little bit of bacon.
And a little bit of bacon, too.
And pineapple.
All gonna cook together?
We do like a double tortilla.
How many do I get, 12?
3.
3. 3 works for me.
Okay, so we got the Al Pastor tacos.
Okay.
Cilantro, onions, a little lime juice.
Okay.
Here's the avocado salsa that we made. Let's see what you think.
There is no way we're in Minnesota. No way. The meat perfectly marinated. It's got a nice crisp to it. Right amount of onion. Tortillas are charred. The salsa is outstanding. Nice job, buddy. Wow.
We got a line on Venice Boulevard. Let's get this place moving.
La única birria is the place you will find. Birria, 100%. Tortillas ready.
How'd you find it? Just walked up to it?
Just driving by, yeah.
On 1 to 10, where do these guys rate?
They about 10 for me.
That's exactly how Yasmani Mendoza and his family felt about their mom Evarista's cooking. So, they built her a food truck.
Did you ever think this is what you would
No.
do? It's crazy.
Yeah.
What's the #1 thing on the menu?
Queso tacos, crunchy tacos with cheese.
That's all me right there. Is that what I'm getting?
Oh, yeah. 3 queso tacos de chivo con todo.
This one is crunchy tortilla that has the cheese and then the birria on top.
You dip that taco in the consomme and you make magic.
What are we starting with?
We're gonna do the birria paste.
Okay.
Chile, California.
Because these have been steeped in hot water. Black peppercorns?
Allspice.
Clove?
A little bit. It gives
Oh,
it
yeah, just a touch. Cinnamon.
garlic.
The whole garlic.
And onion.
A little water and blend that.
There it is.
Okay. Really interesting to have that much allspice and clove in Mexican food for me.
This is because of the goat.
I go what you're saying.
Yeah.
Strain this. So the goat?
We add the birria paste, water.
Salt into the pot.
So it cooks for like 3-4 hours.
And then when it's done, we'll pull the bones, pull the fat, but then we'll save the sauce for the consomme.
Consomme, correct. This is the chile árbol salsa with the oil.
So you got the flat top really hot, so you can not only cook the tortillas and cook meat, but you can also get it hot enough to saute on it.
Correct.
Got it.
Chile de árbol. We add the garlic.
Toast those off. The oil, the garlics, and the chili de árbol all in.
We add the water, salt.
Yeah.
Try it.
You see him step back? It's got a great acid to it, almost like a vinegar acid. This is delicious. I'm queso hungry. Queso, hurry up.
This is a handmade tortillas.
That's the real key right there. Dipping it in that fat.
And then we add the cheese, Monterey Jack. This is the cooked birria. We chop it, and then we add it to the tacos.
Is that a normal portion?
Yeah. Wait a little bit for them to get crunchy. It's good to go.
Okay.
The limes.
Cilantro and onions.
Chile de árbol.
Gotta put lime on tacos.
Lime and hot sauce.
Bye-bye, folks. Nice knowing you. Going to Coma Town. Without question, one of the best birria tacos I've ever had.
Thank you very much.
It's not gamey. It's not too spicy. It's not too salty. It's in balance. And then you get a great mixture of the onion and the cilantro. You gotta come down here and do that dunk. If I could figure out how to get in the consomme in a kiddie pool, that's kind of weird, huh?
Goat is wonderful. It's the best.
This is tender and delicious.
And have you had birria before?
I have not.
Never had goat.
No.
You just goat for it and...
Whatever that sauce they do, it just has that juicy flavor.
It's the consomme for me. Consomme is top notch.
1 quesadilla.
When you think about Mexican food, what is the difference between the good, the bad, and the ugly?
Definitely the sauces, but also the rice and beans.
And how these guys do?
Excellent.
It lived up to the hype.
Want a torta? I can't say enough about how good everything is.
Chamorro ready to go.
Every bite is a magical bite. It's perfect.
Really has the sazon of the family. You really know.
Sazon,
the flavor of the family.
That would be the Munoz family, with veteran chef Papa Tito leading the charge.
Have you always been this close of a family?
All the time. We always did a lot of things together.
Like taking the plunge and opening this joint in 2012 with a menu based on Mom's recipes.
This food is delicious, it's fresh, it's flavorful. You just can't go wrong with anything.
What's your favorite thing on the menu?
The tamale.
For tamale ready?
It's the best.
We're gonna make tamales.
Tamales.
I'm gonna do the pork.
Pork tamale.
So we're gonna put in a
Pork butt that's been just cut up.
cook it in the water, put some salt, some onions, Mexican oregano, garlic, and bay leaves.
And we're just gonna cook it down.
Cook it down.
The rest of this goes in there?
Yes. Mexican oregano.
Okay.
Black pepper.
Black peppercorns, got it. The onion.
Onions, garlic, cumin.
Cumin seeds, got it.
Allspice. Then we're gonna put some water. Where's my...
Well, why don't we put the water from the peppers? What does sabroso mean?
Delicious.
Sabroso.
You get upset? We're gonna add the peppers. That's the guajillo and...
California, chili d'arbro. Okay. Now we go to the hot oil?
Yes.
Gonna strain it a little bit because there's some solid.
This is what you wanna hear.
Oh, sauce. My mouth. Shit. The flavor jets are turning on. How long is that gonna cook, Chef?
20 minutes.
And then we'll be ready to take and add it to the pork.
There you go.
So now we have the masa.
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna put the salt.
Little baking soda.
Yeah.
To puff it a little bit.
Vegetable shortening.
Now we're gonna put the pork stock into the masa.
Then we're gonna start mixing it up all together.
So I got the pork. Oh yeah. Sabroso. Skins.
The masa.
Okay. You soften them in the water so they're pliable.
There you go.
Okay. Over.
Just roll it. There you go. You know how to make tamales.
I made a few tamales in my day. This is a tamale pot. See how that sits above the water as they cook. All right, Chef, we ready? Whoa!
Look at
that. They're delicious. The masa has great texture. The pork is delicious, not too spicy, and you got a good ratio. It's not a bunch of masa and a little bit of pork inside. This is like a nice 50-50.